We hear this term all the time, midlife crisis. It sounds like something you just have to grit your teeth and get through, right? But what if that whole idea is just wrong? What if midlife is secretly your biggest, most powerful competitive advantage? Let's dive into how we can reframe this whole thing, not as some kind of ending, but as the ultimate launch pad for what's next.
So, it really all kicks off with a simple tweak in how we talk about it. Take the phrase midlife crisis. It just feels so passive, so scary, like something that's happening to you. But now, swap that out for a midlife crossroads. That feels active, doesn't it? It's a moment where you get to decide, a choice about which road to take. It's not about being obsolete, it's about reinvention.
And look, standing at any crossroads is going to bring up some big, heavy questions. If you've felt that sense of uncertainty, I promise you, you're not alone. It's a totally universal part of this whole journey. So let's just get real and break down what those doubts usually look like. It pretty much boils down to these three biggies. First up, identity. After years of being the manager or the parent, you suddenly ask, who am I now? Then there's purpose. Maybe a huge project wraps up or the kids leave home, and it's totally natural to wonder, okay, so what am I supposed to build next? And finally, the one that really hits home for a lot of us right now, relevance. In a world that's changing so fast with things like AI, that fear of being left behind, it's very, very real. This quote just nails that feeling of irrelevance, doesn't it? You look back at everything you've accomplished, your entire history of success, and it suddenly feels like it doesn't quite fit the world we live in today. It's like showing up in a brand new country with a pocket full of money that nobody accepts anymore. The value is still there, but it feels like everyone else is playing a different game. So that feeling can lead to this huge, paralyzing myth, the idea that you have to start over from scratch, that everything you've ever done is now worthless, and you're back at square one, competing with people half your age. Well, I'm here to tell you that's completely wrong. And here's why. Okay, this right here, this is the most important mindset shift you can possibly make. Every single challenge you've overcome, every project you've managed, every relationship you've built, that is not baggage, that is your foundation. You are not at the starting line. You're starting with this massive head start, and it's called wisdom. So if you're not starting over, what in the world are you doing? You're restructuring. I want you to think about your career like a really well-built house. You wouldn't just tear the whole thing down because the wiring is a bit dated, right? Of course not. You don't rebuild from the ground up. You upgrade it. You bring in an expert, and you restructure. So what does that upgrade actually look like? Well, your decades of experience, that's the solid foundation. It's unshakable. The new wiring is just getting comfortable with modern tools, things like AI. And the smarter lighting, that's the new mindset. It's about using your wisdom to decide how and where to use those new tools to make the biggest possible impact. Let's really dig into that foundation for a second, because it is so much more than just a base to build on. In this age of automation and algorithms, your experience is a genuine superpower. It is the one thing that technology simply can't copy. Think about it like this. An AI, yeah, it can process insane amounts of data, but you understand the human story, the why behind that data. An algorithm can predict an outcome, but you can empathize with the actual people who are going to be affected by it. Sure, an AI can write a perfect email, but only you can read between the lines and discern the real emotion in the reply. That is your uniquely human edge. And this advantage is built on assets you can only earn through time. We're talking about the perspective you get from seeing industries change, from seeing markets go up and down. We're talking about resilience that's been forged in the fire of overcoming real challenges. You have insight, you have emotional intelligence, and you have discernment, that gut feeling, the ability to make a tough call. These are the skills that really matter in leadership and strategy today. Okay, so you've got this incredible foundation. You've got these unique superpowers. How do you actually put them to work? Well, it all starts by changing the fundamental question you're asking yourself. This is the old question, the one that's based in fear. Can I keep up? It immediately puts you on the defensive. It's a question about survival, really, about just trying not to get left behind. And honestly, it's exhausting. It makes you a follower. But now this is a much better question. It's a game changer. How can I lead differently now? You feel that shift? This question puts you right back in control. It starts from a place of strength, assuming your value from the get-go. It's not about keeping up. It's about using your unique experience to lead in a way that no one else can. And the answer to that new question is pretty simple. Stop trying to win the race on speed. That's a game you're probably going to lose to a 22-year-old or an algorithm. You're running a different race. Your game is about applying your hard-won wisdom with technology, using it as a tool to amplify your judgment and your insight. That's how you lead differently.
All right, so how do you actually start this whole process of intelligent reinvention? It might sound a little backward, but you don't start by looking forward at all the new stuff you need to learn. You actually start by looking back. You start by finding the source code of who you really are. And let's be super clear here, looking back is not about getting stuck in the past or living in your glory days. Think of it more like data collection. You're digging through your own history to find the patterns, the strengths, and the deep-seated motivations that have always been there. Those are the breadcrumbs that lead to your next chapter. So here's a little compass to help you start that journey. I really encourage you to take some time, maybe after this, and just sit with these questions. What are those few accomplishments that still give you that little spark of pride? What patterns do you see when you look at your own history? The answers are in there, I promise. And they will point you directly towards your next, most authentic move. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to stay relevant or to keep your head above water. The real opportunity here, the magic of midlife, is to achieve resonance. It's about using your depth of experience, your wisdom, to make a contribution that isn't just seen or heard, but is deeply felt by others. That, right there, is your true midlife advantage.